Are you okay?
I'm about to sneeze. I'm so sorry.
I thought you were going to like throw up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Industry Sunday with your hosts, Jake Levan.
And Kennedy Novi. Welcome back. We're glad to have you. So Jake.
Our one fan.
Yeah, we have like 10 fans out there. No, I'm kidding. This is our first episode we're recording after we launched the first episode. So we're really excited. Things are starting to fall into place and make more sense. Before we were just talking to a cloud, and now we're talking to you guys. So exciting.
Yeah, this is actually really cool when you put it that way, because I'm just sick of staring at you. Now I can pretend
know.
I'm just going to put different faces on you when
now
I'm
you can picture
talking.
all of our followers. We definitely, the first episode had a lot more downloads than we expected. It actually put us in the top 10% of podcasts. Are you okay?
I'm about to sneeze. I'm so sorry.
I thought you were going to like throw up.
No. I just had to sneeze. No, yeah. The first podcast, we had hit the threshold of being in the top 10% of podcasts in our first week of launching, which is kind of unbelievable to think about.
It really is. It's not too bad for two girls with no talent, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talented in some ways. It's just not
We're the first podcast of our kind, so it's really like heartening to see all these people who have like reached out and said, hey, like I've been in, like people who don't even know too. Like they've said, like I've been in the industry for this many years. I've always wanted to hear a podcast about what I go through. I've had even people who work in the, like public service community, like police officers. I've had people that work like in schools. Yeah. They've messaged me and they've said like, we love it. Like we deal with people too, not the same as like service industry, but like
it's still
and like they still deal with people like we do. I bet like retail workers, like all of them can really relate.
Oh my God. I worked at Walgreens for a total of a month before I got.
Oh, I remember that.
We mutually parted.
We both worked at McDonald's when we were kids.
Retail work can fucking take a hike. That was horrible.
Oh, that McDonald's drive-thru, people are like, it's kind of like people online. They're just the same way through a drive-thru because they only see you for like 10 seconds. But
I definitely had somebody smash a burger patty with ketchup on it into my hand once.
Ew.
Fuck that bitter old man. He
Is it one that you gave him, or did he bring his own patty?
Yeah, he said no ketchup, so he took the fucking bun, the top bun off with the burger and put it in, slapped it into my fucking
You're
hand.
like, can I give you the McDonald's handbook where it says
it was fucking,
the cashiers don't handle food?
It was,
like, I didn't cook your burger.
It was like 10:30 in the morning. I'm like, bro.
First of all, our breakfast menu just ended.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what the fuck we got going on.
You're lucky to even be here.
I was like, I didn't even take the order. I just passed it off to you in the fucking window. And that was the end of my McDonald's career, which lasted another total month.
Oh my God.
But yeah, as far as the podcast,
it's been really good.
I mean, we have seen, I've gotten screenshots of people that I don't have no idea. Like I've never met, I've never heard of them, posting our podcast on like big social media sites and like groups.
We got put in a Chicago industry Facebook group.
Thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Almendra. She's the one who posted it.
You know who she is?
I do now. No, I'm kidding. I've known her for a while. But she listened randomly. And like there's been like a lot of other people too that I never thought would listen. Like older people, like people my parents' age have been listening. Like a lot of obviously family and friends are listening.
My mom's like coworkers are listening. And
really?
I'm like, God damn it,
so
Kim. I'm like, Kim, turn it off right now.
Yeah, you're like, another thing is that's cool for us is like we can see where people are listening from. And my favorite part is like mostly everyone's in America right now, but we have one listener in Brussels, Belgium. We see you, sir.
Whoever you are. We have some people in China. We have some people in South America.
Really? That must be new.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah,
I need to look again.
It's pretty universal now.
Really?
Since we hit. Now that we're on to episode 3 that's been published.
Wow.
It's out there.
I saw one person in Albania. Was one person listening from Albania.
All I can think about is that TikTok, like Albania. But no, it's a lot of positive feedback. We've had a lot of messages. Everybody's been really supportive and nice. I did get one less than 5-star review I saw on Spotify.
I noticed that we have 4.8 stars now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder who are you?
Probably somebody I bitched out drunk at a bar, but
yeah, or maybe it's
Don't hold a grudge, baby.
Maybe it's Famous Dave's.
Baby, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean what I said.
It's somebody that you didn't match back on Hinge.
Right. They didn't get a gift at my restaurant when I worked there.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Well, we both had pretty eventful weeks. I just got back from Key West, so I have a lot of things to tell you about that. But
I didn't do
what
anything.
Did you do? You did?
I just worked. That's about it. I don't know why you're speaking, but my week was not eventful.
Okay, so I guess I could talk about mine.
Yeah, I was like, what did I do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Literally, I just worked.
It's good because I have enough stories for the both of us. So
yeah, I want to hear all about it.
So yeah, I just got back from Key West. Next week, I'm going on a road trip on Route 66. So I'm sure in the next episode, I'll have a lot of stories about that too. But I was in Key West for 6 days, and it's mile zero. So it's where the interstate starts. And it's funny because next week I'll be in LA, which is where the interstate ends. So it's like a full America road trip right there. But, no, it was a lot of fun. It's like everything you expect it to be. There's chickens that are wild everywhere, and they crow at the same time, or whatever you call it, like, squawk. I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck. They just make noise. I've always wanted a pet chicken, low key.
Yeah.
Pet chicken, pet raccoon.
Just a barnyard.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
No, but one of my favorite things that I saw from industry people there, like, I made it a point to go and talk to all the servers and bartenders we had, and just kind of like get a feel for what industry is like down there. And you can tell that people have their regulars and people have their tourists that they are annoyed of. And like, I found myself telling everyone that I was an industry worker just so they didn't hate me. But there's one place we went to.
But that's the worst thing is when you are in the industry and someone's like, yeah, I worked in the industry, and they leave you some buck ass.
I know, but I do it and I leave a good
8%.
tip. But little do they know.
Don't ever say you work in the industry again.
I'm just gathering research for a podcast, but I'm not going to add that in because that's even more work. That's even worse. Like, also,
so question, were people just like rolling up on their golf carts to these?
Everywhere, and biking. You know how many bike accidents I saw down there? Like drunk people biking that just like fell over in the middle of the street.
Oh, old people?
No old people. I did say one old person's fall, but that was unrelated.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, there's one time I was biking, and this woman, I was on the sidewalk, and this woman was biking in the street, and there was a parked car like at the stoplight, and she ran her bike into the back of the parked car. So like, and the people, it was a golf cart actually. It wasn't even a real car. It was a golf cart.
I wouldn't even know what to do. I'd be like, I'd be, first of all, especially if I was one on the bike, I'd be so embarrassed.
Oh yeah. She was passed out. She was on
she was
I
unconscious.
think she fell asleep at the wheel. Yeah. But we stopped our bikes obviously, and there was a ton of people coming to help, but we just like watched because there were too many people around her to begin with. But she eventually got up, and some deodorant fell out of her pocket, which was weird. I don't know why that was in her front jeans pocket, but no, she was fine.
When I see stuff like that happen, I will not run over. I will, first of all,
if it's close enough to me, I'll run over. But if there's other people there, I'm not going to add to the drama.
I will not add to it. A, and B, as long as it doesn't look too serious, I'll try to just pretend like I just didn't see it at all.
No.
Like I'll just be like, doo-doo-doo. Like,
I didn't see
a thing.
Because we also saw someone wreck his moped driving down the street at like 2 a.m. We were sitting in this balcony from this bar and watched someone crash a moped. He was clearly drunk, and all these like pedestrians ran over and were helping him, and they pulled the moped off the street and hid it behind a building, and then called an Uber for him to go home. So and my consensus is, because after the bike accident we witnessed, this woman's laying there, and then a driver passed by. She's like, has anyone called 911? Like, should I call the police or whatever? And everyone was like, no, she's fine.
She's fine. Just walk it off.
I think the consensus is that most people that are down there are like snowbirds, like older, retired, or, there was very few people my age down there. But I think the general idea is, if they're not like gravely injured, we don't call the cops, because everyone's driving drunk, allegedly.
Second of all,
yeah.
if do not ever call an ambulance for me. I will not be paying that fucking bill. There's no way. If I see an ambulance roll up, I'm gonna be like, no, you gotta go. Like, I'll walk myself before I get in this and have like a $10,000 bill.
It's so expensive. It's the worst Uber ride of your life. I'm like, can you call me an Uber Black? I'll just sit in the back.
Drag me behind a car.
Put me in the SUV.
Put me in a trunk, but do not ever put me in an ambulance.
Well, it's just funny because like these people definitely should have gone to the hospital, but whatever. I mean,
Shout
it's
out
also
to American healthcare for that. Thank you.
I don't know how their hospitals are down there. I can't imagine they're like very well equipped for a lot of emergencies. They should be, but I don't know.
I feel like you probably have to go back over
go to the mainland.
Yeah, to like Miami or something.
No, but it was a good time. All the bartenders were pretty young and they all seemed really happy. One that I spoke to at this pool bar right on the beach, she told me that she was from the Midwest and she had worked in like Minneapolis, LA, Arizona, and then she settled on Key West because she's like kind of like a retiring bartender essentially.
Oh yeah.
And she said she had been to Chicago. She talked about places she went here. And it's funny because when you're sitting at a bar like that, especially in like a place where Midwesterners go vacation in, like everyone at the bar next to me, one guy was like, "Hey, I used to live in West Loop," and the other guy's like, "Hey, I live in Naperville right now," and like people seated next to us, and like we're like, "What? Like, what are the odds that all these people are Chicago natives?"
Just
like,
old Midwesterners.
They're pretty young. They're like 30s, 40s.
Did you ask the bartenders if they live in the Keys?
No. So I asked her, I'm like, do you live downtown Key West? Because I looked at Zillow. You know, I was on Zillow so fast down there because I wanted to see if I could afford to live in this beautiful city.
Yeah, right.
And no, she's like, no, we pretty much all live like off the main island. Like there's a place called Stock Island that a lot of service industry workers live. There's nothing there except for like maybe 2 restaurants, and it's called Stock Island because they have
like industry restaurants,
a lot of like ships coming in. Yeah, like most of the unsightly things go there. But I mean, if you work in Key West and you can like party and hang out in Key West, I don't see any issue with living in like a not so great house, you know, because you probably would never be home.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I didn't get taken away in a hurricane, I think I'd be pretty chill.
Yeah, they surprisingly don't get that many, I think, but
I don't know.
I think my last story probably, because I'll probably think of some later. I didn't really like take note of what I saw too much, but I went to Ernest Hemingway's house, found out he was a G. He's a cool guy.
Who's Ernest Hemingway?
He's a great American author. He wrote a bunch of books that you don't know
Kennedy.
about.
Like, well, how many times I tell you I cannot read?
No, I've never really read his books or like known much about them until now. Like I never thought I'd be a big fan, but he was like kind of like I don't know how to describe him. He just like was really good at swindling people and getting them to think that he was better than he was. And then he like he went to Paris and convinced like Picasso to be his friend and like this great like publisher to teach him how to write. So people taught him how to write, and then he just wrote in his voice. And the reason he was so famous is because how he wrote was so conversational and different than other literature writers at the time, that's why he got famous. And he was like married like 5 times and just was like obsessed with the idea of being in love and never wanted to sleep alone. So if one wife started to hate him, he would just date someone new and divorce and get married again within like a month.
It sounds like he was ahead of his time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He should be living in this century acting like that.
Yeah. And the one cool thing is I'll give a Key West shout out to Sloppy Joe's and Captain Tony's. Captain Tony's is where Sloppy Joe's, the original one, was. That's where Ernest Hemingway hung out every day. And he went to that bar so often that he stole the urinal from the bathroom and put it in his backyard and made it into a fountain. Yeah.
Wait, so Sloppy Joe's originated in Key West?
Not the dish, just the rest. Like it's a bar name.
Oh, okay.
Because the owner's name was Joe. He was like a captain of a fishing boat or something. And then Captain Tony took over the original Sloppy Joe's.
I need to see a picture of this urinal.
I took a picture for you. I'll put it on the Instagram. But it's, yeah, his wife was so mad that he brought home this gross urinal from a gross like dive bar that she like put like tiles on it and like built a little fountain over it, so it looks really cute in the backyard.
Sounds like the most Floridian thing I've ever heard. Like just glue some shells on it and it will look cute in the house. It's a fucking urinal, Karen. She's like, let me just paint some cute little stripes on it.
Why don't you give the kids some finger paint? They can like put their art on it.
Like I'll put a sand dollar on it and it'll look great. Like that's all it needs.
He's like, enough of my money went down this drain. I'm taking this urinal home with me. And like his friends and him helped him walk it back to his house. This is so funny.
Was there just like water just like spurting out the wall?
No, it's in the backyard. So they built like a little spout over the top of it, so it falls on a rock and then falls into.
No, like when it came out of the wall. In the
I don't know. I think that he was friends with the owner so well that he probably turned off the water just so Ernest Hemingway could take it off the wall. I imagine. I hope so. Otherwise, maybe that's why he stopped going there. I don't know.
Dumbfounded by like the things people just think about doing.
Well, he was Ernest fucking Hemingway. He could do whatever he wanted. But another cool thing is that this bar was and Ernest Hemingway was such a prominent person that like President Truman went there, President Kennedy went there, Muhammad Ali, oh my gosh, Bob Dylan was there, Prince, and they painted all the bar stools with the names of the people who had sat in that spot. And the ones that people like to steal the most, they hang from the ceiling, so you can't steal them. But it's and there's even a gravestone in this bar. Like this whole island was built on top of was built up so fast that they literally had to build bars over graveyards. And you can't be buried in Key West unless you are born there. It's a birthright.
Really?
Yeah, a manager at Sloppy Joe's told me that. I asked him.
Jeez.
How much do I got to pay to be buried in that mausoleum?
There's so many rules to Key West.
Well, it's very small. You can bike around the whole thing in like an hour. But it's wonderful. Like there's so much in a small space. It's like a Disney World for adults. It's like Vegas, but cheaper. And there's no gambling.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing.
I'm going to have to check out Key West.
You got to come back with me. Apparently the gay scene there used to be really big, but now I don't know if I saw the right places, but
I was going to say, I thought it was just all old people.
I think it's like an older generation.
Old gays. I don't know.
It might be, yeah. But they were a lot of fun. I went there for my birthday. I went to a drag show. It was wonderful.
Sugar Daddy Round 2. I'm just kidding.
Sugar Daddy Rome. Ernest Hemingway Rome. All right. Well, I guess I kind of want to start off the first episode with our first user submitted story. Should we say her name? Did I tell you who it is?
I know who it is, but
should we give maybe her first name?
Just the first name. I think her first name is fine.
Okay. Our friend Jess submitted this story. Do you want to read it?
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah. Can you see it?
I told you I can't read.
I'm going to put you to the test now.
So, beginning quote.
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to make it through without laughing, but go ahead.
So I worked with a girl named Angelica, and at the time this all happened, she was about 18. She was dating this Indian dude we worked with that's also a server, and bitch, he's 58 years old. Fuck.
Jake, you're familiar with that.
Period. So we got a new manager, and his name was Dave, and he was going through a sloppy ass divorce, and he was 38. So him and my 18-year-old coworker were literally fucking on break in the parking lot in the car, even when her boyfriend was working the same shift. Like, damn, you can't even... Hold on, sorry. I'm cutting.
You can't wait.
You can't... Yeah, like, what? Okay, anyways, back to it. I lost my place. The manager, she was fucking... actually ended up going to jail for domestic assault against his sister.
What?
So they cut off their friends with benefits. I can't make this shit up. You know Applebee's is a fucking dumpster fire.
Should we cut out the name of the restaurant?
No. God, no. It's Applebee's. They love hearing about that.
Really? You think so?
Applebee's was my first job.
I know, we talked about
There's
this.
never a lack of excitement in Applebee's.
I love it. So what are your thoughts on that? Were you there for this story, or is this a new one?
No, this is new. So I mean, I understand they probably can't be friends with benefits because he's in jail, but I wonder if they're like still pen pals.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a big thing. People falling in love with
Like,
convicts online.
Yeah. Do they write each other letters still? Or like...
Well, she's like, is it because she was upset that he went to jail for that? Or is it just because like they had to because he's physically not around anymore?
So the 18 was dating a 58-year-old while also having sex with the 38-year-old manager.
I feel bad for her. I wonder what her life is like.
I'm wondering, did the manager have a girlfriend?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. We should ask our user.
Like, someone got left out of this, and this isn't fair to them.
No, I don't know. I imagine no.
Yeah, because so the boyfriend, the manager, hold on. The manager had a girlfriend, but he domestically assaulted her, was also cheating with her on the 18-year-old, who also had the 58-year-old
No, he
boyfriend.
domestically assaulted his sister.
Oh. It might be his girlfriend. It could be both.
No.
The two aren't necessarily like not interchangeable, but
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
You would prefer it not to be, but you never know.
That's illegal here. Maybe in another
is it
planet. Yeah, it's super illegal.
I mean, It's not like something I look up often.
Often.
It's not like something I think about.
Usually I just look for videos. No.
So I'm like, I'm just like trying to grasp everything that was in such a small paragraph.
It was a lot, yeah. Well, I mean, the whole like relationships in the workplace is definitely like something that happens, but like it's pretty rare that they're this messed up. I mean, I guess sometimes you have like drama that comes with that, especially when you have like an industry where people are like going out together and like they're all usually friends. Like you're gonna see this, but I just
rumors spread like wildfire.
Every restaurant. I thought it was just like, because when I was in college, that was a huge thing at the college bar I worked at, but I didn't know that it like transcends time space and age. And
you could have a 70-year-old server, and she would be talking mad shit.
Oh yeah, they're probably worse.
Okay, Linda.
Yeah, like leave me alone.
I'm like, you got the tea. She's like, yeah, I've over this place for 4 years.
She's like, I'm an expert at it by now.
I'm just wondering, like in the Applebee's parking lot, like that shit's well lit.
Yeah.
Was it during the day? Like, are the tinted, like, do you have tinted windows? Like,
it's not even like a workplace, like, oh, like a kinky thing where it's like, oh, like we're in our restaurant, or like, oh, we're doing like, you know, which I don't understand to begin with, because like,
did they like leave one of the car door opens, or like,
I don't know, but it's like, what's the draw of like in the car in the parking lot?
Like do it in like the employee bathroom, or like in a walk-in or something. Be like scandalous about it. Yeah, make it fun.
Well, they were like trying not to get fired, I guess, but.
Well, that clearly went well.
Yeah, either way, I still got Joe. So we have another one. I'm just going to start reading it, I guess. So a guy came into the wine venue that I work at on a first date with this girl. He looked like a humble Midwestern boy who clearly like had put on his finest suit for this date and really wanted to impress the girl he was with. He ordered wine for the both of them and didn't let the girl speak. It's not uncommon on first dates. He really wanted to assert some dominance. I brought the wine over in the correct Bordeaux glass, and when I dropped off the wine, he laughed at me and said, "Those are white wine glasses. Can we please get them in a red wine glasses?" There's a dramatic pause here. I was having a chill night, so I just decided to follow orders and let him feel important. We get to see some wild things on first dates.
So let me just tell you something.
Okay.
When it comes to wine snobs, I worked with a lot of wine snobs.
It's different if you're working in the industry. Like you are a wine snob because you know what you're talking about.
I am a wine snob. Like I have had a dumb amount of training. Like nothing like
and a smart person who's going to a restaurant is going to trust their server. Like
I'm like a master sommelier, but
unless you're like at a restaurant that's not really known for wine, but this is literally a wine bar.
There's so many different forms of wine glasses. I mean, you have like your AP glasses, which is just like your normal, like just at like a normal bar. Like that's probably going to be like, if they put wine, it's going to be all in the same glass. And you have like your heavy Bordeaux glasses, which are like your Cabernets, like your French Bordeaux, like your bigger, heavier tannic wine. And then you have like a Burgundy type glass. And then you would usually see like a Pinot Noir, like American Pinot Noir, like a French Pinot Noir. And it really depends on how aromatic the wine is and how and some of these wines could be, they could even transfer depending on if you're dealing with like a really heavy Pinot, you might want to change it into a different glass, or, and then you have like your tulip style glasses. You have like tulip style glasses for like heavy white Burgundy. I don't want to get like a nerd on glasses, because honestly, like,
we're preaching to the choir. Everyone that listens knows.
I know
what you're talking about.
But it's so frustrating when
you just went on a tangent.
But I've had people do that where they're like, "This is the wrong glass," and I'm like, "Whatever you want, we'll put it." I'm like, "Whatever glass you want it to be in, you're more than welcome to. Like, there's not a problem with that. It's just down to preference. Like sometimes, as time went on with my career, I would just sometimes I'd be like, do you have a preference on glass, especially if it's a more expensive wine, because some people had different preferences. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's ultimately that's what it comes down to, is like whatever makes the guest feel special or happy, if they're trying to impress somebody on a first date, or if it's a business meeting, or if it's just something casual with their significant other that they've been with for 60 years, like whatever they want to do to spice it up. And if it's fucking drinking out of a different glassware, then like, so be it. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah. Different strokes, different folks.
I mean,
That's all I have to say.
sounds like these people at Applebee's were stroking a little too much.
God.
Sorry, not to bring it back, but
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like you should trust your server. And obviously, as servers, we know that people generally, there's some people that just don't like to do that. Like, they want to be right, especially first dates. First dates are like either really funny to watch, really heartening to watch, or it's like
a fucking failure.
Yeah, or it's like, do I need to like call someone? Like, it's one of the three.
I have had that happen. I have had to call someone.
That's why they have the angel sign at bars. Like, you put up what do you do? Like, you order a drink, a certain kind
shot.
of drink. What is it called? Can I have an angel shot?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think so. I have no idea.
If someone said that, I probably wouldn't know what they're talking about.
I don't see these signs when I walk into the bathroom that you see.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like that's become a newer thing. Like, when I was bartending, I really didn't see any of that. But
No, yeah.
Just over this past like 4 or 5 years, I feel like that's become like a really big thing. And that's a good thing to have for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with all the creepy shit that goes on now.
Well, and since COVID, people are more like particular with their time. They're more particular with like who they're going out on dates with. And I think they're just smarter. Like, I feel like very strongly that like a lot of women have kind of figured out how to see the signs before they happen. And if it's too late, like that, I mean, I'm sure that happens a ton still too, but yeah, I've definitely noticed like since COVID, I don't see as many bad first dates as I used to, for sure.
I mean, yeah,
it might just be because maybe I'm just stupid now. I just like forgot how to look at look at situations, but
I think I've just gotten oblivious.
yeah.
I don't know. When it came towards the end, I was just on autopilot working all the time. I felt like I would go through a whole shift and completely forget it.
Oh yeah, that still happens to me sometimes.
Sometimes because I had a couple drinks, but sometimes I was drinking on the job.
No, it's funny. There's some days where you like go into work and you're like, I'm going to have a terrible day, and then like your first table comes and all of a sudden you're in a great mood. And like, have you ever had that shift where you're just like on your A game and you're like, damn, I'm good at this? Like,
Yeah, usually I get worse tips that way.
really? When you like work
When I
harder?
was like
I've noticed that my tips get way better if I'm in a better mood.
When I'm in
a bad mood, I get bad
when
tips.
I was a bitch, I'd get crazy tips. I don't know if they were like, this dude's having a bad day or something.
I don't know. No, if maybe it's like a gender thing too. Maybe if a woman is kind of rude or I've never been rude, but
I
if
was
they're
still
kind
on
of
top
like,
of my service, granted,
Yeah.
but like I just was like short, like I didn't have time. I was just like, I don't want to do this today.
See, I feel like people notice if I'm like that, so I have to force it because I don't want to be like that.
And then I would get a tip, and then I get another tip, and another tip, and I was like, "Fuck you guys for making me feel guilty for being in a bad mood because you're tipping me so well that I'm like, I have to go fucking be nice to these people."
You go up and you're like, "Thank you."
And then the instant I'm nice, they're like 12%. I'm like, what the fuck?
Or what about if like you're in a bad mood and then they like I've had it where they bring me the tip because they pay and everything and then they decide to tip in cash and especially if it's an older couple or an older group, they will come and find me to give me the cash, like, want to make sure you got this.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like obscenely high and you're like, you don't know how to act.
Like, I
You're
did not deserve that. Take this back.
Well, even if you do deserve it, it's like, what do you say? Like, thank you. Like, am I supposed to cry and be like, oh my God, I'm like, I needed that to pay my internet bill this month. Like, I hate it. Just leave the money. I will get it. If the buster wants to steal it, let him have it.
Yeah, like, if some random person walks by the table on their way out and takes it, like, well, so be it. I'm not stopping nobody.
Yeah.
Speaking of stopping people at Dine and Dash.
Have you done that? Or have I ever? Why are you looking at me like that?
I have. I did once.
I
got in big trouble for it.
Well, I've had I tell my manager, and I've had managers run after people that Dine and Dash, and then they try to pretend like, oh, I thought he put his card down.
Well, these people were like halfway down the block. I'm lazy, so I ran up to the door, but I was like, I'm not doing anything more than this.
I will yell at them. I will not what do you chase after them? It's not Grand Theft Auto.
No. And then they were like, well, your table left. Like, you need to pay for their tab. I was like, bro, I will walk
I've
out.
never worked at a place that would make me pay for someone's tab.
It only happened once, and I think
I'm not security for the restaurant. I do not see when they get up and leave. Like,
What do you want me to do? You tell me not to do anything, but then you tell me to be responsible. Like,
and then you're like, okay, now you have to pay for it. Like if I'm paying for it,
it's like a multi-million-dollar corporation. I'm like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I was like 19 at the time.
I kid you not. If I worked, like, thankfully I've had very, very good restaurant companies I've worked for that have looked out for their staff and would never do that to someone. But if I worked somewhere, which I don't think I would in the first place, I think I would just not accept a job, or I would quit if I found out that was their practice. But if I worked somewhere that made you pay if someone dined and dashed, you could bet your ass that I would be chasing people down the block.
Well, the thing is,
I would get a taser.
In Minnesota, it's illegal for you
to chase a dine and dasher?
to make like a server pay the tab. It's
really
illegal.
Ooh, Minnesota might be the best state to be a server in, because you get better
paid
minimum
like
wage.
fucking $15 an hour.
When I served there over the summer in college, after I was a freshman or something, I made such good money. Oh my god,
it's ridiculous.
Maybe better than I do in Chicago as a server.
I mean, it's just you have to deal with winters.
A lot of pickles and beers and olives and beers, and I worked.
Oh my god, I forgot. People always would ask for olives and beers.
Yeah, and then I worked the Lady Antebellum free concert that Hormel put on.
It's not Lady Antebellum anymore, though.
It was Antebellum, yeah. Now it's Antebellum. It's just, I think it's Lady A.
It's just Lady A.
Because Antebellum was the word that they couldn't use. Yeah. No, but they had a free concert, and I wanted to go so bad. And because I had this serving job over that summer, I had to work. And I had never bartended in my life. This was my crash course in bartending, because it was so busy that I had to get behind the bar and make my own drinks, or help make the bartenders make drinks. Because we had like 4 servers and 2 bartenders, which was stupid, but whatever. I made so much money.
Let's not get on the topic of scheduling.
Yeah, no. Well, it was like, that is a perfect staff. Like that restaurant only has, I think, 4 or 5 servers on the staff, and then like maybe 3 or 4 bartenders. So different people can close different days. Yeah. But that works on a regular weekend or on a regular weekday. But they just did not have enough of us. Like all of us were working that night, I'm pretty sure, except for like the older servers that had been there for a long time. They took the night off to go see the show.
Seniority.
Yeah.
Can't blame them though. They deserve it.
I miss that place. We had a spam menu.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Do you know what place I worked at in Austin?
No. Sure don't.
Maybe we can interview them one day. It was a great place. If any of you are from Austin, you probably know where I worked, but it's a great spot. All right, let's move on to our main topic for today. Mm-hmm. There is an account that I follow on TikTok that I don't remember how I saw this. I don't know if I just like came across it and thought this is a great fucking TikTok. It's hilarious, or what it was. But it's called Industry Things That Would Send Non-Servers into a Coma. And the account is at Jocelyn Barlow.
That was a nice attempt. I give you that.
Maybe it's Jocelyn Barlow. Jocelyn
There
Barlow.
You go. 3 times the charm. I just sound it out, baby. Just sound it out.
I had a long day.
One letter at a time.
I had the red eye yesterday.
Sound it out.
Can you just slap me?
I
looked at you. You're getting bored over there. Just watching
I was
me try
just
to
like,
do that.
she's sounding it out. I'm the one who can't read.
I know. I'm the reader. It's just embarrassing when I do that. Okay. This is good.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is not a game. It's just our main topic for today. So nobody get too excited. We have another game for you later.
Oh, God. We have another game.
It's really good. Oh, wait. No, we don't. This is our game.
Okay, so Kennedy's not also, can she not read and she has to sound out her words, but
no, we have a game.
She's a liar as well.
No, we have a game. Okay.
She's making it up now.
Jake, shut up. Okay, we're gonna start over.
She's gonna gaslight things later. She's gonna gaslight all of you. I'm so sorry.
Industry things that would send non-servers into a coma. Number 1.
Wow.
Not getting breaks.
Push it out.
Jake, not getting breaks.
Yeah, no, fuck up break.
This would work better if you had these notes as well. I'm really upset that we don't today, but it's fine. Okay, not getting breaks. No allocated breaks. Only smokers get breaks. You might get a few minutes to go sit for a little bit if it's slow, or eat quickly in the back. If you work at any other job and you don't have a lunch break or a break to just sit down, yeah.
Also, I pretended like I was a smoker for a bit there because...
Wait, really?
I was pissed off these people kept getting breaks and I wasn't. So I was like, I'm going to go out and smoke. And they're like, Jake, you don't smoke. I'm like, I picked it up.
Well, I feel like at the places I've worked, I work with a lot of smokers, but I don't think they've ever in the middle of a dinner shift said, I need to go.
Oh, I had
smoke.
people all the time.
In the middle of like a rush?
Like, I love you guys. You're my little smoker fam out there, but.
In the middle of a rush.
Yeah. They'd be like, can you watch my section? I'm like, bitch, you got like 7 tables. And
so we're rewarding people for smoking now.
And I'd be like, yeah, of course. I never did any. I never checked somebody's section. Why is that a thing? I was like, good luck. Like, and they were like, oh, thank you so much. I was like, yeah, you're welcome. I didn't do anything.
God. Okay, the next one. Never eating despite being around food all day. You get so busy that you forget to eat, might drink water or chug a Red Bull in the back or have like a little bite of something. That's really true.
I would get so dehydrated working long shifts, like doubles, like open closes. I would be like 10 hours in. I'd be like, I haven't had a sip of water.
Yeah. Every office job I've ever had, like I eat the entire time because I'm bored and I'm sitting and I'm staring at a screen.
Probably why I've gained weight. I'm getting
because you're in an office job now.
Thick.
But yeah, and especially if you work at a nice restaurant, there's no, like, you can't just order the oysters.
Shit's expensive. They're like, you can't touch this.
You can't afford it. No.
And I'm like, this one. And then you're looking at this piece and you're like, oh, this piece hasn't been touched on somebody's plate. And you're like, do I risk getting herpes?
Yeah.
I don't know what these people have.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I had actually a conversation with my boyfriend. I had dinner with his parents last week and they asked us, they're like, do people still like eat leftovers in the back of a restaurant? Like if you have like a big group or anything, like will you go back and eat them? And I was like, what?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah.
And like
a family style.
If it's family style, like a private event.
I've seen it.
People will run up those stairs, be like the private party leaves and like,
is there any food left?
They're like, is there anything left? And
if it's like a buffet, yeah.
Oh yeah, and my fat ass all over it every single time.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
But yeah,
I'll pack it up to go. Like if I'm serving, I'll pack it up to go.
Like
but
eating isn't a thing. Like people
for
think
for the people that are there. But.
And there, I mean, some places there was breaks, but it was like, do you want to take a break? And it would be like short, and you still have 5 fucking tables, and you're like, well, you have to transfer all of them just for your 30-minute break, and I'm like, that's not worth my time. That's like probably at the time like 50, doubles, $60.
Yeah, and
I was like, no, I would just rather keep my table, and I'm like, why do you guys just keep seating me?
No, and then if you have a double and you do take a break, then you come back to a shitty section because you're starting later.
Well, that
and like the nice sections are like starting at 3 or 4 because you have to get there for the first groups that come in that want the nicer sections.
Well, and
so
you
like
lose your momentum. You're tired after you take that break. You're like,
or you go to a bar next door, you have one shot, and you're like, I'm exhausted now.
You're like I don't want to work anymore.
Yeah.
So you just push through it.
Or you go and you eat too much. Maybe that's why people don't eat, because you have more energy if you just
starve.
Through. Yeah. Because you're burning on like, what is it? Like air, fuel.
I mean, it's true though.
I don't know. All right. The next one, things that would put non-servers into a coma. Having large parties at your tables. They get up and move around and you don't know who was in what seat. When they want separate tabs, when they say, I'll pay for that guy, this couple is together, just do it on one tab. Venmo is what I said at the end.
Yeah, no, I would literally be like, sorry, our system can't handle multiple transactions.
Yeah, it's a company policy.
I was like, we haven't updated our POS in a long time. Like, you're going to overwhelm it, and then I don't know what to do. So can you guys just like figure it out?
Well, it's funny. When I was a young server, like 18, I would do any split that anyone wanted. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to you do the same thing. Like you're just young and dumb, and you're like, yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah,
like,
you wanted 26 ways? Oh, I'll tell you what, I had a 32.
No, they don't even do it evenly.
I had a 32 top that was...
They will...
They were paired, and this was specific. I had a 32 top. It was like this girl's like 22nd birthday, and it was all these young ladies, and some people were like, I'm with her, I'm with him, blah blah blah, like I'm with this, and they were like paired up and all singular. And then I was like, okay, like easy enough. And then they were like, we would all like to split all of them, all 31 of them that were all paired and separated. We would all like to split the birthday girls between all of us. And I was like, do you know how hard that is?
Yeah.
To split 3 items for this bitch 31 ways?
God.
I was like, okay.
Well, that's why I said like Venmo, especially today. I think that's also because I don't think Venmo was that big of a thing when I was 18.
It back then.
I don't remember it being a big thing. But now they have apps that you can split tabs on the app. You can take a picture of the receipt and it will split it for you.
It's the coolest thing.
Yeah. But I remember when I was 18, like if I had, especially if it was like adults, like when you're 18, like everyone's an adult to you. But if it was older people, I'd be like, yeah, just can you write down what everyone had and like on this piece of paper I'm giving you, and then I'll go do it. Takes you like 10 minutes, especially on an older POS system. Oh, hell no. And like with Toast and like the newer ones today, like it's a lot easier.
A lot easier.
So
with
so much
numbers
easier
and everything, as long as they're in the same spot.
Yeah. But it's, I don't know, still it's just annoying. And I feel like you get like a lesser tip because it
takes so much time.
One
You're
guy
like, what
plays
took
cash.
you so long? And I'm like,
yeah. What if someone gives you like 100 in cash and then they're like, put the rest, put 70 on this card, 100 on that card, and then 60 on this card. And then they don't tip you on the cash portion.
You get stiffed
on the cash.
The gift cards, same fucking situation.
It's so annoying.
Like, yeah, we'll do the gift cards and then the rest on the card. And then like,
they only tip you on
it's like $600 in gift cards and their bill was like $700.
They circle 20%, it's $7.
Yeah. And I was like, thank you so much.
I can feed my chicken.
I just lost $30.
I can feed my pet chicken and raccoon.
No.
Free weeds from the side of the road.
I just look at the bussers like, hey, you're paying for my dinner. Just kidding.
Okay, the next one is weekend doubles, where you go brunch to lunch to dinner to nightlife. So that's like 4.
Yeah, I used to work 16, 17, 18 hours straight.
In one day?
Yeah.
That's insane. I've done that when I've opened restaurants because you have to. But like I've never...
I remember, I worked. It was actually my last shift. I'm not saying like I did this voluntarily back then, like because I was obsessed with working and making money.
Oh yeah, when you first start, you're like, this is amazing. I want to work every day.
My last day, my restaurant opens at 6:30 in the morning. I think I had to be there 6:30. I think they open at 7. And I'd work breakfast into brunch to lunch straight through, and then around 3:34 like we transitioned, but I was a closer and I still had a full section, so like, do you want to take a break because you for some reason picked this buck ass shift up? And I was like, no, I'll stay on. Ended up I was stacking the chairs at the end of the shift around like 1:30, maybe 2 in the morning, because we would close depending on like volume. So like like sometimes we'd close at 10:30, but like this time we were busy for some weird reason on I remember it was on a Sunday. And we had a huge rush, and my last table didn't leave until midnight, and then I had to do my closing side work, so I didn't get out till like 1:32 in the morning. So it was literally working, because I would get there around 6:15 a.m. I didn't leave until 2 in the morning.
Damn.
So it was like almost a 24-hour shift.
And when that's done, you're like...
I slept for like 2 days.
Yeah, it takes so much out of you. All right, the next one, large walk-in tables. When they have the audacity to complain that there's a wait or that they can't be seated when they walk in with like 15, 20 people.
Like, in what world? And what, like, I just want to know, like, in what fucking world does your brain work that you're like, yeah, this seems fine. Like,
yeah.
Also, like, open your fucking eyes, dude. Like, Dave, can you not see, like, the restaurant's completely packed, and they'll be like, well, that section over there, it's completely empty. I'm like, yeah, because nobody's fucking in it. You go over there and you sit, and you're just gonna sit there. Nothing's gonna happen. You're gonna be up there at the POS ordering your own fucking drinks. Is what's gonna end up happening.
Yeah, it's like, go to the bar. That's what I always say. Go to the bar.
And I'm like, they're like, yeah, it's 36 of us. It's my daughter's 18th birthday. Like, do you hate your child that you didn't even have the audacity of booking a reservation for their 18th birthday? I just want to know.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have? Because it looks like you have like 20. So I understand if you're going to be forgetful about that, but
yeah,
come on.
I know.
And then they get mad at you. And I'm like, this is your problem, not my problem. I'm like, okay. And then they're like, we won't be returning to this establishment. I'm like, please don't. And all 36 of you, please don't come in.
We won't be returning.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Bye. Like, we don't have space for you anyways.
We're busy.
Yeah, we're butt.
And then they're like, can we have 36 separate tabs, please? They order like fried pickles and like 1 beer a person. They're like, all right, we're gonna leave.
The worst is when you do it and then you think you have everything split correctly and you like pay everything out and you have like 1 person left and you go to pay it and then you look at the thing and there's like 3 items that have not been accounted for.
Oh no.
And you're like, oh,
Oh, I hate that. And then you're like, where?
And I'm like, what do I do with this? I'm like, can you guys? I'm like, these are comps. I didn't like them. Because I'm not going back through all that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hell no. Okay. I like this one. DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats tablet noises, like when it goes off.
Noxious.
This also kind of coincides with like a ticket noise. Like if you're a bartender, like the it's like the fucking Morse code of like hell.
You will never forget. I still hear that noise in my dreams.
Yeah, I'm not even a bartender anymore, and I still hear
The thing is, the bartender one is different because it's a different paper than the one in the kitchen, and I know the noise is so distinct.
Oh yeah, they're very different.
Can you do
Can you do an impression of them right now?
God, what do I look like?
A robot?
No. I can't. I'm thinking through my head like, how would I do this? And I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, damn. All right. The next one is having someone call in sick. Front of house always gets fucked. Kitchen not as bad. Is what I wrote from her TikTok.
What do you mean?
Like if you're okay, so say you're working on a shift and there's a perfect amount of servers scheduled for that shift. Someone either comes in and gets sick and has to go home, or someone calls in sick, and then you're short-staffed automatically.
Yep. Period. Yeah. That's it. That's how it goes.
It's just like, and then you always have a terrible night. Like it's just like you think that like you could handle more tables than what you normally get in a section, and then you get more tables, and you're like, dude.
And I'm so fucking pissed. I'm like, who's decided on doing this?
Like, are you really sick? I want to see your doctor's note.
And
like I turn into like the manager. I'm like,
I was always the
prove
one.
it.
I would call out sick.
I know you're
I was like,
have you ever experienced someone else calling in sick when you're working?
Yeah. Well, what I found.
Is that where you learned it?
What I found even more annoying wasn't necessarily people calling off sick and me having to work harder because I would make more money. What I had a problem with was when people would get called in and we didn't fucking need them.
Oh, and then
we would all fucking sit around.
Yeah.
Staring at each other with our like 2.5 table sections, and I was like, what are we doing here? I'm like, you need to leave, like go home, like you're cut, like you gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't need you. That's
the worst. And then you're like, you're kind of pissed off the rest of the night because you're like, I'm not gonna make as much money.
I'm not working, like I'm not being efficient. This is a waste of my time. Like I would have taken the cut.
Sometimes it's not even about the money either. It's just like, I'm bored. I want to
do
more.
something.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing is I was just like, and time's just dragging on. Like,
well, there are some servers that treat it like, I mean, everyone usually treats it like a craft, but I know some servers that just enjoy having 2 or 3 tables where they can really focus on like telling all the stories and doing all of the, stuff about all the menu items and all that. And they would prefer to do that than be like swamped and have too many tables and make more money. Yeah. I want to move. I want to hustle.
The thing is with that is like you're investing so much time to like such few tables. Like your like chance of getting fucked is just like immensely higher. Also, there's a rule that I've always lived by a majority of the time, unless told otherwise. The restaurant, like the dinner, like the meal, like the table, I am not the priority. I'm not the center of attention. Like it's their dinner. It's their time to get together with people they haven't seen in a long time. Now, if it's a couple that's been together for 50 years, they're looking to spice things up, give them a little bit of energy, a little bit of attention, talk to them a little bit more.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, like when people, I feel like, I mean, not to bash on it, but depending on the circumstances, like if people clearly do not want you at the table and you're there for so long, like you're kind of making it about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's not like the whole point of the dinner. So
yeah. I mean, a lot of times people are there for a reason, especially depending on where you work. Like if you work at, I mean, really, actually, I don't know, any restaurant. I mean, obviously, if it's like more of like a sports bar, like people aren't really there to be wowed by the server. They're there for quick service, smart service, and they want to get drunk and eat cheese curds. Yeah. But like if you're at a fancier restaurant or like a fine dining Michelin star, whatever it is,
they want more attention.
They want all of that. And then, but there's also sometimes that it's like a business dinner and they want to talk and have private time. They don't really want you to give them the whole, like to get the whole spiel. Yep. But then it's like, where's the line? How do you know? What do you do? Unless they tell you beforehand. But
and I feel like that's something that non-restaurant people would not
They don't know.
understand
They would have a
is
coma. They would go into a coma.
assessing a table and how very
Within 20
different-
seconds.
Before, sometimes even before you walk up to them, because they give you that side eye. Assessing the situation before and adjusting your personality and service everything accordingly within like a 30-second window.
And that's like something else where I'm sure you've dealt with this too. I think I gave you this pointer when you were applying for different jobs outside of serving. But when you go to a job interview after you've had serving experience, like the best way to use your serving experience or any industry experience to your benefit is to say, you can think on your feet. You can assess someone within 20 seconds. You know how to, you're a good people person because you know how to interact with them just based on a few minutes of talking to them.
Yeah.
Like, you know exactly what they want to hear. You know exactly how they want to be spoken to. You know if they like eye contact or if they don't. Like, you figure it out right away.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing to say in an interview too, because industry workers are some of the best people at reading. They're empaths.
They're little
They can read you.
chameleons.
Exactly.
You're
a chameleon.
I am a little chameleon. Slytherin snake.
Ew. I'm a snake.
All right, what's next?
All right, the last one is having to tip out even on people that don't tip. If you leave 0, we still have to pay out support staff.
Yeah, I mean, just because you didn't tip doesn't mean people don't have to get paid.
Exactly.
And then you're going to get those people in the comments like, well, you should pay your employees a livable wage. Well,
That
that's
hasn't
not
happened yet,
I'm like,
so.
did you just get born in America yesterday? Like, clearly we have
Yeah.
other issues.
Well,
Like,
the thing is like, because, especially compared to other countries, like, people can say whatever they want about America, but we have such a big job market where there's so much variety that it's really hard to find good servers. And
And
it's
also-
really hard to find good anybody at any job because there's so many choices.
and I'm like, for those people who say that, I guarantee these people have not left the country
No.
and gone to restaurants in France or Italy, like, or, like London. Like, the way service is there, it's very different.
Yeah.
And, like those
Very
expectations
to
of
the
being
point. It's
treated like
here is this, here is that.
Yeah.
The only places that do like the whole like spiel and where
Like
they
Michelin star
describe things
places.
are really nice places, and it's usually because they get a lot of Americans that come in.
Yeah.
That's why they do it, because they know they're gonna get like a regular tip.
And that's the thing. Like the reason that America's restaurant industry is so insane and so competitive and so amazing is because of these incentives for not only restaurants but for like serving staff. Like, some people are really, really good at their job, and
Yeah.
and it shows for it, and they're paid accordingly depending on that. And you wouldn't have those experiences because I guarantee no restaurant working with the volume, like the high volume of money that they like move with and those low profit margins,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be around.
No.
Unless you want to pay more money for shit. Like, either way, it's all going to even out. It's just, I don't know. It's just a very obscure thing that people find so complicated.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just funny, like, picturing anyone who hasn't worked a serving job in a serving job. Like, I've even had friends, I love my friends, but some of them like think that it would be really easy to jump in and become a server and they don't need any experience, but you do.
Some people just don't have the personality. Like, you just
No,
are not
but
equipped to do it.
The thing that like I understand is like these friends that a lot of them that have kind of like insinuated that it's an easy job would be really good at it just because they're good peoples, whatever you say. However you say that.
I don't even know.
But they would be really good at it. But it's like, have some respect. Like, it is kind of a tough job, especially if you haven't been doing it for a long time. Just because you have to, it's not just about talking to people and getting to know them within 20 seconds. It's also like being able to multitask multiple things at one time and knowing how like the POSs work, knowing how to interact with kitchen management, bussers,
Food, liquor knowledge, like all of these
Oh,
things
yeah,
take
memorizing.
years. Like, it's not like I just fucking like jumped out of a manhole and was like, let me go serve today. Like, there was
Yeah.
a lot that went into it, and a lot of people are like really highly trained. And that's also, I mean, that's a segue into, just like people being like, when are you going to get a real job? Like,
Yeah.
the egotistical side of like, like people being like, oh, I have a desk job, like blah, blah, like you work in a restaurant, and not realizing how much fucking work
Yeah.
and experience and time and knowledge and sacrifices that actually go into that it's the same as every other job. It's just often scanned over because people just think of you as a service worker as sometimes as like a second class citizen because you're waiting on somebody, you're serving someone.
Yeah.
And I think that just extends back to people, sometimes feeling like they're privileged and that they deserve to be having other people wait on them. And it's not necessarily that way.
Honestly, it extends to every industry too. Because remember I said I talked to people who like work in other industries that are like, we get the same shit. It's just a different like flavor.
Yeah, it's literally, it's a different seasoning on the chicken. It's
just a different like, sometimes
you want a dry rub, you want pepper, buffalo,
it's Cajun.
Barbecue, you want fucking Korean.
It's like bubblegum shrimp, coconut shrimp.
Yeah,
boiled shrimp.
It's all varies. And like,
it's just people like thinking that this is your job and this is how you're supposed to do it, and I shouldn't have to be responsible for my actions because you put yourself in this position and I did not. And
these same people that shit on retail, restaurant worker, in any kind of service industry like hairstyle, anything, they couldn't live without us.
No, yeah, we are. If there's a food pyramid for industries in the world, food service industries is probably at the top. Maybe it's bread. It's maybe
some
at the
people
bottom.
can't fucking
maybe
cook for themselves. Like they have the audacity of like, I can't cook, and then they have something to say like, "Bitch, go starve at home."
Yep. Or if you're like, if you're bored, if you don't have a ton of friends, and you just like want to go and sit somewhere and be around people and like not be bothered, like you can go sit in a restaurant or a cafe or a coffee shop or whatever the fuck you want. But you still like. It's just everyone needs it. Even if you're going to a drive-thru.
Don't take these things for granted.
Even pizza delivery, like any of it is just the same.
They're all service workers, and like you don't realize how big of a part that it actually plays in like people's mental health, like entertainment. There's just like a lot of aspects that people like clearly oversight because they take advantage of it. When these are things like now people realize during COVID when it was taken away, how much they actually liked it and appreciated it and like needed these things to like, I don't know, be mentally healthy, not sitting at home dwelling on their stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, that's my little tidbit on that. I could rant about that for the whole night. You
know what? We got a whole podcast. We got like 120 episodes left.
What?
I'm just kidding. We have unlimited episodes left.
I was going to say, like,
I'm like, actually, in about 2 years, I'm going to be done, but...
Okay, let's chill out.
Okay, so we have our game of the night ready to go. This game is called Michigan Stars. It's a game where we basically describe the shittiest restaurant ideas in the world. And I have the list, so I'm just going to read them and let you react. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. Our first Michigan Star is the streaming restaurant. You walk into the restaurant, you sit down alone with big plates of food in front of 3 monitors. That's right. It's a restaurant where you pretend you're streaming a mukbang on Twitch. As part of the restaurant experience, you have to read Twitch donations and read chat while eating your food.
I would do this.
The chat will be AI generated with GPT-3, and it'll yell at you and tell you that your stream is bad.
Yeah, this would be definitely on my bucket list. This is something I would do.
Wait, remember the other day or the other episode, like the other day, when I mentioned like AI affecting serving? Like, what if you had a server that was AI? Like, this is the same thing.
I would love it.
How would you have a server in this situation?
I mean, I wouldn't do this like...
Big plates of food, you have to do a mukbang.
Yeah, I would.
But you don't get any money from streaming. It's just like you get to experience it.
Yeah, I would do it just once.
Okay, so maybe it's not a Michigan Star. It might be a good idea.
I mean, it's not for everybody. Let's just say that. I don't think, but yeah, I would do it once if I felt very comfortable and I didn't have a lot of people watching me. Yeah, I would do it.
Well, okay, I guess it is going to be AI generated people watching. I just got so funny. All right, the next one. The newest health craze. In the future, all foodborne illnesses will be cured. Salmonella, E. coli, these diseases will not pose a deadly threat like they once did in the 2020s. However, some moron is going to think that salmonella is actually healthy for you and start promoting it as the newest health craze. Tabloids will write clickbaity articles about how people in the 2020s were healthier because they got salmonella every now and then, and talk about salmonella like it's a nutritional miracle food and how we need to go back to the basics of the 2020s. Think of it like the paleo diet craze, but with foodborne illnesses. To capitalize on this trend, there will be dozens of new poke restaurants, but instead of fish, it's just a bowl of raw chicken.
Oh my God. At that point, just order like a fucking worm, like what? A
tapeworm. Yeah. Unlike actual poke places, they do not sell salmon.
So you're just like dying.
Just raw chicken. At that point, just go to the grocery store and open the raw chicken in the section of raw chicken.
I just feel like there would be so many lawsuits that place would be closed just so fucking fast.
I know, but people are like, but 17 Magazine said that this is the paleo diet of 2082.
Yeah, no. Next, that one's horrible. I give that like, what am I supposed to star it?
No, you just say no.
That's a no.
I feel like this would happen when we're like grandparent age, and our kids or our grandkids will be like, "Oh, I'm going to this new restaurant called Salmonella." I'm like, that's a terrible name for a restaurant.
Eat it. Watch my grandkids be like, eat it.
I'm like, end the line now with you.
I'd be like, you know what?
Like, I was bad, but you guys are worse. We got to stop now. Oh, okay. Number 3, crypto food. Crypto food. I honestly don't know what this is supposed to be, but it seems likely anyway. What? There's no other.
That's it.
Maybe it's like Bitcoin. Like we don't know what it is.
Like
but it
you
seems
eat
like
fake food. Just like you invest. Never mind.
You just buy pictures of fake food. It's just like styrofoam.
It's like an NFT of food that you just buy.
I want to buy the NFT burger.
Yeah, and then you just look at it until you feel full.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
so
that's gross. That just seems like a way to scam people out of money.
Seriously, yeah. Okay, a food art market. The year is 2050. Scientists have figured out how to make all food non-perishable so that it all lasts forever. This will lead to a food trading market where meals are traded for rarity, like paintings. Here's what happens. You go to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant and he serves you a steak dish. Since he made it with non-perishable ingredients, it will last forever. Instead of eating your steak, you take it home, wait for 30 years, and sell it on the food market as a Gordon Ramsay original for $20,000. Many chefs will hate this new trend and quit the business altogether. A growing number of gourmet chefs will realize that since no one actually eats their food, they just save it so they can sell it later. Taste doesn't matter anymore. The chefs make dishes that are aesthetically pleasing but basically inedible. And this spirals out of control to the point where gourmet chefs just become naturalist sculptors. Also, Banksy will make a meal that eats itself in protest. It's like NFT, what you just said.
That's a lot to follow. I'm not
That was a
gonna
big
lie.
one.
I got lost.
I'm sorry.
My ADHD whoop my ass.
It's basically like NFT food. You already said that with the Bitcoin thing.
Yeah, just another scam.
It's food that you save and you sell because it gathers more.
Just like avocado
or like the
toast.
stock. It's like the stock market.
I'll tell you what. I
like
went to a
Dogecoin.
restaurant and they charged $29 for avocado toast. What the fuck are you putting in that avocado toast,
Truffles.
bro?
Truffles.
No, there wasn't.
There were no truffles.
No.
What else
Like
was on?
flaxseed oil. Like, I don't know.
That's like $10.
It was stupid. I don't know.
For a whole bottle.
It was ghetto. I was so embarrassed. I was like, why am I here?
What city were you in?
Here in Chicago,
Chicago?
in River North. I was like, $29.
You should tell me what it was later. What restaurant?
I'll say it right now. STK. I don't give a shit.
Oh,
$29, bro. Y'all ripping people off. I came there. Came there for a restaurant week. I came in for brunch, and first of all, the restaurant week menu.
Didn't you do the restaurant week?
Yeah, it was nothing. First of all, my restaurant week, which was supposed to be $25, was $230 for 2 people. It was outlandish.
Interesting.
And it wasn't good. $29. It better to pick up the fork itself and feed me.
Yeah.
And tastes amazing. None of the above. Next.
God. Oh my God. Also, I forgot to mention that this is from a article on medium.com by Mike Benashan. So it's like a blog. So he's a really smart guy because these are pretty funny. Okay, so the next one is it's number 9, the 4-Hour Chef, a hibachi restaurant where your chef is from a cloning chamber at the back of the store. To preserve the uniqueness of your experience, the chef can only live for 4 hours before disintegrating. The real reason is because the restaurant's cloning technology is very unstable. A 70-year-old Tim Ferriss furiously sues for copyright infringement, causing the restaurant to reluctantly change its name to the 3-Hour Chef, giving the cloned chefs 1 hour less to live. What?
Kennedy. That sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
I think these are gradually turning into Black Mirror episodes. Snapchat invents food that disappears 10 seconds after you look at it.
I mean, most of my food disappears 10 seconds after I look at it, let's be honest.
I'm afraid of the future if these are our predictions. Oh my goodness. I don't know. There's all of that coming up. Like, I guess we're done with Michigan Stars, but all of that reminds me of the movie The Menu. And we had one user request that Jake discusses his opinions on it. Have you seen it?
I still haven't seen it. Somebody has my request on it.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I've seen
our listener Cece requested.
She did. I feel like I've seen.
You can't talk about it unless you've seen it. Okay, actually, this will be funny. Jake, tell us what you think The Menu is about and what it does, and then we're going to watch it, and then we'll do it next episode.
So what I think it is about is a bunch of prestigious people, like the world's food connoisseurs, that go to like all the Michelin star restaurants in the world, and they go to the best dining experiences. They get invited, or they can sign up for this super exclusive, like rich people dining experience. And then they go to this island and they eat this fancy dinner, and they like stay on the island and like do this crazy, I don't know, dinner experience that like lasts for like a long time.
Okay.
To like specific, like probably like 20-course meal, and it's probably like one bite brickworth. And we're like, oh my God, there's no food on the plate. Yeah, basically type people. And one guy, I feel like, has fallen, like has a date like that is a girl that's in the service industry or like a hooker or something. I don't know what she does.
You're cheating because I told you a little bit.
No, I've just seen the ads.
Okay.
And then basically like this is like everybody's last dinner except for the one girl, because everybody's gonna be like, well, he's gonna be like, well, I looked up your background and you're one of us, so you get to live with us. And then I feel like towards the end he's gonna like,
I told you all
he's
this.
gonna no you didn't.
Yes, I did.
And then I feel like he's gonna make the girl join them and kill her boyfriend. Okay. Am I wrong?
You are wrong.
Okay, well, close enough.
You're pretty close. Yeah. I think you literally just like remembered. I think that's why Cece asked you to watch it, because she's like, I want to know the thoughts on it. So we actually started a Patreon too. We forgot to mention it.
Yeah, we did.
We started Patreon, so we're going to start making some bonus content and putting it on there. I think we're going to put everything that we, like all of our reactions to watching things will be on the Patreon. We'll probably do like $2 a month, whatever.
Yeah.
We haven't really figured that out
yet. Little bonuses.
Yeah, we need to like pay for the wine that we consume every episode.
True.
All
right. But yeah, right. So I think... Do
you want to do our word? I think that's it, really.
What were you going to say? Bitch, I got shit to do.
I know. Jake's got to run. I would love to keep chatting, but we can't. So
I gotta go to my night job.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for listening. We're happy to have you. Tune in again next week. I don't know.
I honestly want to know.
Wait, we need to ask for more submissions. So
I'm asking a. Let me finish my fucking question.
Oh my God, it's like being married. I hate you.
God, what is everybody's go-to shot of choice?
You want people to submit that?
Submit what their favorite shot is. I want to hear, or like...
I'll put it on an anonymous thing.
Or craziest shot.
Okay.
Or like weirdest shot. Any kind of shot, like just something that I can like...
Also, will you guys message the Instagram, and it's Industry Sunday Podcast on Instagram. Send us messages. We want to hear stories. If you're not comfortable sharing a story and you want to do it anonymously, send us a message and let us know, and we will make like an anonymous Ask FM or something so we can get anonymous stories. And like if you want it to be an anonymous source, if you want to send us a story, you trust us too, but you don't want us to say your name, just say, can this be anonymous? And we will give you a fake name. Easy.
Yeah, easy enough.
But we need to hear from you. We got 2 great stories today. It's time for more. So... all right.
Miss you guys.
Bye, guys. We miss you already.
Bye.
Happy Industry Sunday. I want you guys all to chug a glass of Chardonnay this Industry Sunday. I want you to black out.
Kennedy. That's not classy.
Well, it's Industry Sunday, so nothing's classy.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.